he asked also the same question. Oh, Paulo, when are you going to visit Russia? And I said, in 2 months from now, because I had already 2 months of things booked. But I said, but I wanted to fulfill a dream that I had when I was a child, that it was to cross Siberia, to take this Trans-Siberian train from Moscow to Vladivostok. He said, oh, Paulo, this is crazy, you know? I said, yes, it is crazy, but it is something that it is important. When you go to US, for example, you go to New York, you do a sign in New York, you do a sign in Portland, you do a sign in San Francisco, you do a sign all over US. But normally in other countries, it is only the capital. And I felt in depth with my readers from the rest of Russia. So taking this train and taking this journey was for me very important, not only to fulfill a dream, a personal dream, but also because I could connect with readers that otherwise would never meet me. And I took this train, and I had a fantastic experience. I had this moment that I started to understand, well, love and time, and I had an epiphany in this train during this trip. And okay, I had this epiphany, but it was a very complicated epiphany because, well, it condenses past, present, and future in one point that it is called Aleph. So at the end of the journey, it's funny because when I finished the journey, after 15 days traveling, I got a call from the office of President Putin saying he must come back because I need to meet him. So I could not even enjoy the Pacific Ocean. I had to go back to Moscow to meet President Putin. But then I said, I'm never going to write a book on this because an epiphany is very complicated. And it took me, well, 4 years till the day that I understood that the book was there. And the book was there, so at the end of the day, to summarize this question, I'm talking for
That's fine.
10 minutes about the book. To summarize the question, Aleph is this journey. It is a physical journey, but it is my spiritual journey. It is my epiphany when I understood that I had to keep on moving, that faith is not something that you have and you have forever. You have to keep on struggling with yourself to keep this faith alive, this sacred flame alive. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. That's I think a great sort of summary of where the book came from, and kind of definitely encapsulates what led to the book. How at what point did you realize you were going to turn that journey into a book?
Well, 4 years later.
Okay.
I was in the mountains and I was talking to Monica again, to my agent, and she said, "You're not going to write about the Trans-Siberian." I said, "No, because the epiphany there was too strong, and it is almost impossible to write about it." I think that from the moment that I said this, a door opened in my mind, and 1 week later, she called me and said, "I wrote the book." I said, "What?" I said, "I wrote the book." She said, "In 1 week? You took this journey 4 years ago. You said that you're not going to write this book." And I said, "Yes, in 1 week." I do believe that when things, they come that easily, they are very genuine. The Alchemist, for example, I also wrote in 1 week. And I could never imagine that it would be that successful book.
And in many ways, I mean, it's a very personal book. I mean, it definitely opens up a lot, and you express a lot of kind of obviously what you're going through. Is that something that is easy or difficult for you in these types of circumstances?
Well, if you don't open yourself, what is the meaning of life? To be closed, to be surrounded by walls, thinking that you're safe. No, no, life is about opening yourself. Life is about contacting people. Life is about sharing. Sharing is very important. It is part of our human condition to share. So that's why at the very beginning of our conversation, I said to the booksellers, thank you, because without a bookseller, how could I sell? I share my soul. So sharing is very important. You should not fear anything. You should only fear God, but not in the sense that God is going to punish you, but fear in the sense of respecting him, her.
Okay. So I wanted to shift gears a little bit and talk, though I think it's actually very much related, and talk some about what you've done online and kind of embracing the internet. And I think in some ways it seems like there's a parallel there to what you were just talking about, to opening yourself up and to sharing, and to the kind of journey that you went through in the book. Do you see? Is that a parallel? Is it something that you see as kind of a similar way to open yourself up to your fans and to the world?
Well, first of all, I'd like to emphasize here that it is me, myself, who tweets and who posts things in Facebook and who answers readers. Everybody thinks that I'm very busy. Well, I'm very busy doing things that I love and tweeting, connecting with people in Facebook is something for me so special because it is so new in the sense that writers in the past, they did not have this possibility. Having said that, as a writer, you have different platforms. No? So you have a book. Before you had clay bricks where you used to write, or papyrus, or so writing is not only about the format. It's also about expressing a feeling through a sentence. So I started by writing books. Then I said, "Oh my God, I can have a blog, and I can there express things that I cannot in a book, because a book is much more complex." So I started my blog. Then I went to Facebook. Then I went to Twitter. Then I went probably to 10 different social communities. And then I said, no, this is driving me crazy. Let me go back to the basics. And the basics are Twitter, Facebook, and my blog. And yes, it is a new way for me to share things that normally I could not share in a book. Not because they are not good stories, but because you can summarize them in 4 or 5 paragraphs.
And some of that, what Twitter and Facebook and the blog as well allow is certainly the ability for you to hear back from your fans and from the community, and to communicate with them in a way that where a book may be
I'm
sort of.
in Geneva. I just returned from the airport. My wife was in New York, and she was returning from New York. And like every writer, I asked her, go to the bookstores. And she went to all possible bookstores. She hired a driver, and she went to several bookstores. And everywhere my books were there. So this is an opportunity to.
I think we may have lost. Hold on one second. Let's try this again.
Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law.
Everything was working fine 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. We run a lot of tests, and when things go for real,
Well, go ahead.
they don't work. So I was telling that my wife went to bookstores and she saw my books everywhere. So